Is Kerala becoming the next Udta Punjab? There it was heroin and cocaine. Here, MDMA is taking over. Everyday shocking reports reveal how school children and young adults are lured into the sinister web of drugs. From rave parties to college campuses and even schools, MDMA has found its place. So in this video, we'll be discussing about what is MDMA, how it alters the mind and body, the long-term consequences and the fatalities caused by MDMA, and also a bit of the history regarding MDMA, and most importantly, how can we tackle this menace before it takes over our entire youth. MDMA, 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, is a synthetic drug, which means it is produced in the labs and not naturally produced like cannabis or heroin. MDMA has other names to it. For example, the most common ones are ecstasy and molly. It is also called as M&Ms, pills, caps, pinkers, flippers, XTC, E. Before we go into the details about MDMA, I want you to understand the history behind the production of this particular drug. In 1912, a German pharmaceutical company called as Merck, with the help of a chemist called Anden, developed a drug, MDMA, for stopping abnormal bleeding. When they produced, they had no idea that this particular drug had hallucinogenic properties and it could be used for recreational purposes. In early 1960s, more research was done about MDMA, and they came to know after the intake of MDMA, people started having a wave of euphoria where they feel very happy about themselves, and they started having an empathogenic effect in which they felt more concerned, more connected, and felt empathy for others and also for themselves. And also they told there was a boost of confidence and they could make conversations very easily with even strangers. This particular property made it a highlight for the rave parties and nightclubs in America in the 1970s. And as the popularity started increasing, more studies were done on MDMA. And one of the researcher, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, advocated that using MDMA can increase its euphoric effect and which can be used in the medical line of work. So certain psychiatrists started using it for psychotherapies. For example, like in couple counselings, they started using it to create more empathy between the couples. And hence the MDMA started having a name called as empathy. But in the late 70s and early 80s, more research was done in the medical field and they came to understand the danger behind the particular drug and its side effects, and hence the US government put a Schedule 1 ban on the drug. Soon after the drug became banned, this particular empathy drug started being called as ecstasy because it was very rare to get a hand on this drug. MDMA is available in multiple forms. It is available as pills or like small tablets or like capsules. It's even available in crystallized form and powder also. So you can take it either orally or you can take it through injections. Some of the people snort it, even some use it rectally. It's available in different kind of colors and also sizes depending upon the adulterants that is used in MDMA. Most of the cases, the MDMA that you use or that you have seen in life is not in its purest form. MDMA 80% of the time will be filled in using fillers. The fillers can be anything. It can be cocaine, it can be heroin, it can be like mushrooms, or it can be even a new synthetic agent which even does not have a name. So when I'm saying about MDMA and its effects, it will not be a singular effect. It will be a combined effect of the drugs which will be mixed. So within half an hour to 45 minutes, MDMA will start to kick in and the effects will be staying in your body till 4 to 6 hours depending upon the individual. Majority of the people who use MDMA use it to get energy during the parties. Why? Because the first effect that you will observe with MDMA is energy, and this particular energy will increase your heart rate, your blood pressure, and also you will start to sweat, and because of all the above conditions you will be landing up in dehydration, and because of dehydration you will be needing a lot of water. Next thing that you will be seeing with MDMA is that Rarely, some people who use MDMA will be experiencing nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Because of the excessive energy levels, you might also experience bruxism, which is grinding of the teeth. The mental effects of MDMA is that after the consumption, you're going to get a feeling of euphoria and empathy. You will be feeling deeply connected to the people around you. Your confidence is going to skyrocket, and you are feeling as if you own the world. But yes, some people might even experience mild hallucinations where they'll be hearing things nobody can hear and seeing things nobody can see. MDMA is a mood dependent drug. If you consume it while you're sad or anxious, that is going to be aggravated during the course of its action. Naturally, inside our brain, certain chemicals called serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine are produced in the needed levels according to our mood and situation. But the moment you start taking MDMA, there is an overproduction of these chemicals, and that actually gives you the empathy or the kind of euphoric state that you live in. But after certain time, these chemicals are going to come down, and this coming down situation creates a reverse role where the user might start to feel anxious, agitation will kick in, he will be emotionally drained, there will be insomnia, anger outbursts. Some of them for the situation will be using alcohol, cannabis, or some other benzodiazepine tablets to soothe on the effect of this coming down. But rarely, in certain people whose emotional state was not that good, they will be experiencing a wave of depressive moments coming into their life. That is when, after 48 hours of the last use of MDMA, majority of the people try to commit suicide, or they even attempt suicide. So in the Western countries, a new term started emerging which is called as Suicide Tuesdays, because majority of the parties happens during the weekends, and after 48 hours, usually during the Tuesdays, they commit suicide. When you consistently use MDMA, you're going to develop tolerance. Tolerance is a situation where you will not get the high from a drug in the respective dose that you used previously. You need to increase the dose to reach the same high that you got while using it. Tolerance exists for every other drugs. So when you overdose on MDMA, it can lead to certain life-threatening situations, and even it can be fatal. The best example for the overdose and fatality of MDMA is a recent case that happened in Kerala, where a boy was busted by the police for peddling MDMA, and he swallowed 2 big packets of it and he died immediately. What might be the reason for his death? The main reason is the body will start producing excessive heat, which will be coming out in the form of fever, and because of this fever you will be ending up having multi-organ failure and you might end up dead. Secondly, death can happen to you is because of having seizures. Earlier I mentioned that there are certain chemicals that is being overproduced in your brain. When chemicals are produced more than the level it should be, it is going to alter the electrical activity in the brain, and because of this electrical activity being disturbed, that can trigger seizures, and when seizures occur suddenly, it might be fatal to the person. Third reason why death might occur is that when the person takes MDMA, he is going to feel thirsty and he is going to drink a lot of water, which will result in water intoxication. And because of this water intoxication, he might have swelling in his brain, and because of that he might land in coma and hence go to death also. The fourth reason will be because of increased heart rate. You know, when the heart is pumping more than it should, and when it cannot hold in the pace and the timing of the beats, it's going to create something called as arrhythmia. The $1,000,000 question is like, what can we do to stop the MDMA use in school children or young adults? First of all, we need to understand the root cause why children and young adults are using MDMA. They might have a lot of reasons to use it. One of the main reasons why they use it is because of peer pressure. One of the friend will be using it, that friend will be commenting, it is nice, it is nothing like the news channels or the elders are saying, it's safe to use. And then the next is simple curiosity. They just want to try out how it is. And the third reason might be family neglect. Maybe they will not have a good family support, and maybe they are having a lot of stress at school because of academics, because of the comparisons that the parents are making about them. They are not feeling good about themselves. They want to be just the cool kids who can do everything. It's very easy for the drug peddlers to target these kids because they are vulnerable. This is for the parents. If you find out that your child has been using MDMA or any kind of other drugs, you shouldn't just, beat the shit out of them, punish them and then lock them in one room. No, no, that is not going to do any help. Trust me. Because if you do that, the child is going to get more angry, going to keep in a lot of secrecy, which he or she will not even tell you what exactly is happening to that child. So the one thing that you can do is sit with them, talk to them, understand the reason why is very important. Was it because they were forced into this field? Did somebody blackmail them into using it, or did they do it because of peer pressure or just wanting to be cool, or were they bullied to do it? Or might be like, do you want to try it? Was it out of curiosity? One more thing is there, ignoring the topic, believing that okay, my child, if I treat him this way, he is going to forget about this thing and he will come out of this addiction. No, it is not going to happen. You need to give the child proper rehabilitation. That is very important. He should be taken to nearby de-addiction center or to a hospital where there is somebody to talk to the child to understand what the child is under. Maybe the child will not share whatever he or she is feeling. So you need a third person help to help you when your family come out of the struggle. You know, it's pretty hard. As a parent, you might be going through hell when you come to know that your child, your precious child, is having such an addiction. You might not even want to believe. You might be in denial. Maybe you feel, what will the society think if they come to know that my child is using it? I understand. If you are caring more about the society, what the society will think, your child will suffer more. I want to stress on a thing. Psychiatrists, the people who treat de-addiction also, are not just treating mad issues. There is societal norms which say that if I take my child to a psychiatrist, the people are going to think that my child is mad. No. Even if the child is feeling little bit low, you can take the child to psychiatrist. There is no harm in it. You are just trying to understand what's wrong with your child. Is the child safe? And the main point that I want to stress here to everyone whose loved ones are suffering from any kind of drug addiction, may it be MDMA, may it be alcohol, may it be cannabis or anything. Once you know that your loved one is dependent on that particular drug and you have taken them to therapy, or you have done rehabilitation for them, don't think that de-addiction will happen in 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month setup. No. De-addiction is a very long process of at least 1 to 2 years, and there might be relapses also. It is your duty that you don't push that particular person into situations where that person will go into relapse, or you should try to monitor them, try to help them, and make sure their surroundings is also safe. Because even if a particular person went into relapse, please don't call them a bad person. Don't address them that you are hopeless, what are you doing to the society, you're such a waste. Never tell those kind of things to your loved one, because relapses do happen. They are trying, and when they try, you need to give them a helping hand. They fail once, help them again. They fail twice, help them again. Because only by repetitive therapy and repetitive counseling, and sometimes you will be needed to keep them on medication for 1 year or 2 years for them to stop the usage of drugs, because we will be giving them anti-craving drugs. Coming out of drug addiction is a long process. It is possible if the individual wants it to be done, if the family is ready to undergo the process, and if the society will let that person live again after becoming clean. MDMA was the so-called fun party drug, but it's far worse, and the situation can be even irreversible also. So the main motive to make this video is to give some awareness to everyone. And if you know somebody selling it, do the right thing, because if you don't do it now, then there is no tomorrow. Definitely it's going to be next Udta Kerala. So if you know any one of your loved ones is suffering from any of the drug addiction, try to talk them out and to make sure you take them to a rehabilitation center, and let's see what we can do together. And if you feel that the video was informative and good, do let me know in the comments. Like, share and subscribe. If you want me to talk about any other topics, do mention below. Thank you. Bye.